This is an official winter update hint forecast for this upcoming winter of 2027. It's going to get a bit intense because we're looking at things we haven't looked at before. We're going on a different intensity now, a higher caliber, because there's more information out, and I'm going to hone in on each individually and specifically for you. Very jam-packed update here. First of all, I want to take a look at our current picture of our equatorial and global sea surface temperature anomalies. And this is from July 31st. This is, 2 days ago. So as you can see, we have that El Nino just very rapidly come on and transform from winter when it was not El Nino at all. I called it right then when I saw the equatorial sea depth anomalies rising up. I knew that was going to be an El Nino in the picture because there's enough depth in that depth. There's enough, depth in the depth to bring up a surface El Nino. And what do you know? We have our El Nino, and it's a big one. We're going to get to that in a second. It's not just going to be a big El Nino. It's going to be a very distinct El Nino of a certain flavor this year, and you'll like it. For those who do like the cold and snow, we'll actually get to that right away. But first of all, before we get to that, just take a look and kind of gaze upon this El Nino a little bit. It's a very strong El Nino, and it's only July 31st on this image, so it's going to strengthen quite a bit, I believe. And that's really the only thing interesting on this picture I have to show you. But now we're going to take a look at what we're forecasted off the Canadian for this winter. This is November, December, and January, the El Nino picture. And this is square, round, perfect for a Modiki El Nino. This is like better than the winter of 2009, 2010. I mean, I've always been talking about lately how you want the warmest waters in the Central Pacific. It doesn't get more precise centrally Pacific warmth than this. I mean, this is a Mordecai, like as good as you can get. But, and I say but hesitantly, I should say and, I will say and, the temperatures off that model that I just showed you with the El Nino, the Canadian temperatures look like this for winter. And that's more of a moderate look. I would expect with that Modiki El Nino for this to be very, very, very much colder, but it's not. So what I will say is this is ground zero for the cold we will see this winter. In other words, this is our bare minimum of cold. I expect things to be amplified much colder on a USA scale this winter. So this is like your least amount of cold you'll get this winter. So again, just your Canadian forecast for this winter. We're also going to look at another Canadian image, and that's our 500 millibar heights for this winter, which is always important for the pattern setup you're going to get this winter climatically. So again, it's a very good pattern. I mean, just without all the technicalities, rigmarole, we have a very deeply centered trough in the east and the central, even in the west. What I like about this, though, is we have a trough right off the west, which will act as a force multiplier in terms of providing us moisture from the Pacific. So this is very good. I mean, this is like your kind of like, again, your force multiplier. You get systems coming off of Japan heading eastward, and from that area, this is like an amplifier. And I'm sure we'll get tons of pineapple express systems this year. And regardless of how they kind of operate, we're going to get moisture for the east through those pineapple expresses this year. So that's why I do think the east is in for a big snowy winter. I think especially the Midwest, Northeast, Mid Atlantic, and also the Gulf states. But again, just forget about the West for now. Focus on an amplified East from the West. So again, we have our East. This is going to be a big snow zone this year. I think. I strongly think that because again, we have a big trough here over Tennessee, over Arkansas. It even extends into Ohio, even though it's not blue. It's still trough-like conditions there. Due to the negative tilt, Indiana, Illinois, Arkansas, Iowa, eastern Texas, and places that generally get snow like Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and anywhere in the Great Lakes is game on. Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, Northeast for this winter is game on really. So yeah, this is really, really big. Um just to look at our precip for this time frame, we're gonna go to our seasonal precip now for the same time. And again, it's showing a lot of precip over the Midwest, over the Southeast. Again, I think this will be a big nor'easter winter. Um and again, just to rehash, we have this big Canadian forecasted El Nino, which we just showed you. I just showed you, so we won't go back into it. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. That's beautiful. That's like to the T. So, all right. So I wanted to show you this, kind of get off topic a little bit. So this is our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from August 8th through the 12th. And um, so don't think we're over the heat yet this summer. I know a lot of areas like me in Cleveland, Ohio, are kind of cold and cloudy. It's kind of fall like out, but we're gonna heat back up come our 6 to 10 day forecast. A lot of these areas, this is some major heat coming. So I just wanted to show you that. I also wanted to show you last but not least our Jamstack model, which isn't out yet, but let's take a look at how this is similar to the Canadian. So we're seeing a lot of similarities. So again, we see it basically a central east based El Nino, but they're both centralized. This is just more centrally east based. But again, they're both showing a type of El Nino that would produce a very cold winter. And just to prove that with a fact of evidence, we see our humid air temperature anomaly, which strangely for this model is actually colder than the Canadian. So that's interesting. But yeah, so I will say, just to give you an early heads up hint outlook, my winter, like really official winter forecast, we're all going to maps and stuff, will probably be, what is it, August? Next is September. Probably sometime in mid-September, or I will release like an official preliminary winter forecast outlook hint, but more so a forecast, or yeah, a forecast, not so much even an outlook. But I should have my preliminary maps by then, using analogs and my go-to models that I've been basing my forecast on based off my own empirical research, and again having my whys behind my what. So very centered in, honed in on that. So but yeah, this was your winter update forecast hint for this Sunday evening. Like I said, I would have a longer video today this evening. So hope you guys enjoyed this update and enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to this winter for you. It's going to be a cold, snowy winter, Christmas time. We're going to have a great white Christmas. Again, February is the coldest month, then December relative to average and snow, and then January, which is a beautiful setup because you have January as your least coldest relative to average and least snowiest, but it's going to be cold and snowy regardless because it's January. So just putting that out there. So, all right, guys, this is Tyler's World of Weather. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy it, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow in my next update. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tyler from Tyler's World of Weather checking out. Sayonara. Peace out. God bless.